Hãy để mỗi lần tắm là một lần chăm sóc cho làn da của bạn với sữa tắm cá ngựa Our Turmeric Perfume Shower Gel, một sản phẩm từ nước Đức, được chiết xuất từ các loài hoa thiên nhiên, nhiều loại vitamin và protein. Sữa tắm cá ngựa không chỉ làm sạch da mà còn dưỡng ẩm, mang lại một làn da mịn màng, căng tràn sức sống. Với hương nước hoa quý phái lưu lại suốt 24 giờ, sản phẩm từ thương hiệu Our Turmeric đã chinh phục hàng triệu người dùng tại châu Âu. Tại Sydney, sản phẩm hiện đang được bán tại siêu thị Nam Phương ở Cabramatta và siêu thị Cycle ở Cali Heights. Để làm đại lý phân phối, xin liên lạc đài VTA qua số 0452 067 535.
Có một loại nước mắm thuần khiết, sinh ra để làm nên sự khác biệt, gói trọn tinh hoa của biển cả, đánh thức hương vị đậm đà thượng hạng, đẳng cấp, sang trọng, là món quà tình thân ý nghĩa để luôn nhắc ta nhớ về cội nguồn. Nước mắm Hoàng gia, tinh hoa đất Việt.
Nước mắm Hoàng gia hiện nay đã có mặt tại tất cả các tiểu bang trên toàn quốc Úc Châu với 3 kích cỡ khác nhau, bao gồm 250ml, 500ml và 750ml. Tại Melbourne, nước mắm Hoàng gia đang được phân phối bởi công ty Osvid Foods và bán lẻ tại các siêu thị và nhà hàng. Mọi chi tiết xin liên lạc anh Tony Bùi 0481 177 996.
Welcome back everyone to our Sunday show. I'm your host Anthony Nguyen, and today we have a very special guest who's joining us today. Her name is Thứ Hai, and she's a professional loans person, meaning that, and she also is an owner of the Loan Lounge in Cabramatta.
Loan Lounge Cabramatta, yes.
Loan Lounge Cabramatta, yes. So, T, the reason why I brought you onto the show today is, as you know, the Sunday show, as I briefed you earlier, is we are trying to bridge that gap between the past generation and millennials and further on to Gen Alpha, Gen Beta.
Yeah, so like our parents' generation,
Yes.
us, and the future.
Yes, and as you know, millennials like ourselves are starting to get into buying homes.
I know, we're 80s.
Starting families, getting married. I mean, in the last few years, the amount of weddings,
I know.
that we've been invited to. And the amount of, baby showers?
Baby showers.
Yeah.
I've got friends that are having second born
There
now,
you go.
you know?
Yeah.
So
And
crazy.
on my side of the world, there's so many of our millennials generation now are coming in and to buy homes. So that's why I want to show the viewers today a few tips and some information and some knowledge on what they can do in order to buy a home. So I've prepared a full page of questioning for you. I hope you don't mind. All right, so look, let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is your expertise.
Look, first of all, great work on what you're doing, by the way, honestly.
Thank you.
Trying to I mean, not trying, but you are doing, bridging the gap between our parents, us, and, you know, what the future gen is. So, good job. Yeah.
Thank you, T. Yes.
Okay.
She speaks very highly of me.
She does.
Thank you.
No,
okay.
You're wonderful.
Let's start with the first one.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very important one that even myself being in the real estate world, I still don't fully know how it works, which is the new government's 5% scheme.
Yeah.
All right, so T, can you run us through on how that works? So let's pretend Anthony is a first home buyer. I've never bought a house before. I'm going to work full time.
Yeah.
I have no wife yet.
Yeah.
Now, I see a house. How do I utilize this 5% scheme?
Look, I'm going to agree with you. There's a lot of noises out there. But the good thing with our Australian government is that it's rolled out and it's introduced lots of grants and schemes for first home buyers. But can I just can we backtrack a little bit, right?
Sure.
The definition of a first home owner or first home buyer in Australia would mean that you are purchasing your first real estate, first property in Australia for the purpose. The purpose is very important. For the purpose of living in that property for a minimum of 12 months. So that's number one, is the purpose of you buying the property, defining what a first home buyer is.
Yeah.
So yes, one of the grants and one of the schemes made available is your 5% deposit scheme. So previously known as your home guarantee scheme. So what it is you can have as little as 5% deposit, okay, to purchase a property as long as you can service or you can borrow or prove to the bank that you can borrow the 95% left.
Okay.
Get it?
So
keep it simple. Let's say the property is 100 grand. Okay.
How about 1 million?
1 million.
Yeah.
Make it realistic.
Yeah. So if the property is 1 million.
Yep.
5% means I need $50,000.
Yes, at minimum.
At
so
minimum.
you need 50,000 deposit, right? So there's other costs, associated costs as well, like stamp duty and that. But we can get into that later.
Yes.
But you need a minimum of 5%, as long as, like you said, you're a single person, no wife, no children. You can prove to the bank you can borrow 950,000.
Yes.
Yeah, and repay the 950K over a loan term of max 30 years.
Okay. So on average, T, let's say a $950,000 mortgage.
Yeah.
What would be the average monthly repayment for that?
That's a good question. Let's
Yeah.
just say it's about $5,500 per month,
yeah.
principal and interest.
That's
now,
P&I. Yeah,
that's
principal
P&I.
and interest.
Yeah.
Now, viewers, principal and interest means that there is, let's say, for example, this $5,000, about 4,000, give or take, let's just say that as
Very
an
good.
example, 4,000 is going to be your interest only that the bank takes from you
Yep.
as for lending your money.
Yep.
The last 1,000 would go towards the 950,000,
Which is the principal.
which is the principal.
the
okay?
debt itself.
Yes. Okay. So, man, that
Hence
means
30 years loan term.
I see. All right. So, another scenario. Thank you for that. Another scenario.
Was that clear?
Yeah, very clear.
Okay,
So
cool.
you need. So what I gathered from that is that you're going to need $50,000. You can purchase for $1 million house, providing that your income is able to service about $6,000 a month.
Yes, that's giving yourself a buffer for sure.
Yeah.
Now, just from a upfront cost, right? So you spoke about, like we spoke about the 5% deposit.
Yeah.
Gave an example of 50 grand.
Yeah.
Right. There's also one really cool thing that the government's also kind of rolled out. Not kind of, it's been there for a while. Is stamp duty exemptions and concessions. Okay. So first of all, what is stamp duty?
Yes.
Okay. Stamp duty. Think of it. This is not really financial advice here, but like a tax on the actual price of the property.
Yes.
Right? So every state in Australia has different stamp duties calculated. So for our example, let's just stick to New South Wales.
Yes.
Yeah, we're based in New South Wales. So there are certain caps or property price threshold. So if the property, whether it's brand new, whether it's existing, if you're buying your first property and the cost is $800K or less, zero stamp duty to be paid. Again, you got to be a first home buyer or first home owner. So if you're actually buying real estate, even though it's your first piece of real estate, it's for investment purposes, you're paying stamp duty. And to give an example, $800K in New South Wales, stamp duty is probably about $30K. So straight off the bat, you're saving yourself that stamp duty if you're purchasing property for the first time.
But that's it. They have to buy under the $800,000.
Under $800K. If it's 800 and 1,000,
Yeah.
there's concessions or discounts.
Yeah. Up to
million.
1 million is
Yes.
no more.
Yes.
So if I purchase anything over 1 million,
I'm gonna be real
Yeah,
with you here.
yeah.
If you're buying something 850 plus, just kind of expect to pay almost full stamp duty. You're not really saving hefty, but
Yeah.
there's still concessions, but
Yeah.
850 plus, just have yourself a buffer.
that's
New South Wales, let's go.
It's very difficult right now because
It is challenging.
I sell homes, right? And
Yeah.
right now in Sydney, I just don't see any house. I'm not talking about units, townhouse, and all that stuff, right? I'm talking about a house. There is nothing that is do you know what the average price in Sydney at the moment is for a house?
Spill it.
1.4 million.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. So this whole $800,000
Yeah.
stamp duty exemption thing is almost.
I feel like the government is playing catch-ups with like what's actually real and what the people is actually like living through and experiencing. Yeah.
Yes.
Because every like 6 months or 12 months, like there's certain little tweaks
Yeah.
with these grants and schemes and
Yeah.
but
So you
whilst
pretty
that's
much got to
happening,
have to keep updated on how these schemes work, right? But now I also want to ask another question regarding this 5% scheme. So does it work on any house that Anthony wants to buy? Let's say, if, hey, Anthony wants to buy something in North Sydney. This house is $3 million. So does the 5% scheme still work then?
no, Anthony.
Why
But
not?
if you can afford a $3 million property in North Sydney, that's hectic. Well done.
Just an example. Yeah, just an example.
Wild example.
I
Wild
can't do that
person.
yet.
It's quite delulu, but
Yeah.
no. In hindsight, though, with all grants and schemes, there's strict conditions for each grant or scheme that's made available. So the 5% deposit, there are again property price cap or threshold. So in New South Wales, it's 1.5. So you can buy up to the property price of 1.5 with a 5% deposit, but you're going to cop stamp duty because remember it's
Yes.
above the 800k mark.
Yes.
So, yeah,
So T,
Yo.
let's say all I got was 50,000,
Yeah.
for example.
yeah.
I don't have the 40,000 odd for stamp duty. Then what?
Yeah, okay. So there's a few ways. For example, so if you're eligible, and let's say you've got the bank of mum and dad. Have you heard of that one before?
Yeah, which is your parents giving you money.
Yeah, sure. So your parents either giving you the cash
Yeah.
or they can go as guarantor for you, as long as they
Yeah.
have a property to use as collateral. However, going back to, will you be able to actually borrow and prove to the bank you can borrow the whole sum? Yeah, for the stamp duty as well.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So
But it will be challenging if you only got 50k, you're wanting and you're headstrong about buying something 1 mil, it's going to
It's
be challenging
difficult,
if
hey?
you don't have this support of like family and because you can't borrow for stamp duty, people?
oh really?
Nope.
So you can't add that on top of your loan.
No, unless you've got a second property,
Yeah.
mum and dad,
Yeah.
to put up as collateral. But if you're just buying that one home, you cannot borrow for stamp duty. No.
So really, if Anthony wants to buy a $1 million home
Yep.
without the help of anyone, he's going to need about $90,000.
Yes.
Let's call it 100,000.
Yes.
That's
because
the
there's
real
other
number.
costs too. Like,
That's right.
Yeah. But that
There's
is the real
solicitor,
number.
there's mortgage, broker fee, and all that stuff.
No broker fees.
Yeah.
Solicitors.
Okay, so the loan lounge, if you need a loan, go to T. She doesn't charge any broker fees. So that's good. Okay, that's some good information because, a lot of buyers have been coming to me and they go, oh, Amph, I've just saved up $50,000.
Yeah.
I think I can go buy a house. I've got the 5%.
Yep.
But they didn't know that there's this, there's that, there's stamp duty.
Yeah.
So really, you're still going to need...
Sometimes I feel
Yeah.
like kind of having that conversation around, well, what is your actual primary goal at the moment? Like, do you want to be a property owner at the moment, even if it looks like not a brick home, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Because you and I both know, like, there's equity over time over the property. Like, property prices go up.
Yes.
Look at it. Your average price range is now 1.4, right?
Yes.
So maybe it's about, hey, this is not your forever home. This is your, get into the market home. And
That's
then
right.
that will help you leverage for in the future. But
Yeah.
buying your first home at 1.4 by yourself is not impossible. It's definitely
But
possible.
it's reaching impossible from what I can see. Because the statistic at the moment for an income in Sydney is $80,000 per year, an average
Really?
income. Yes.
Okay.
So at $80,000 per year, and we just
Right.
worked it out, that is $6,000 a month, give or take.
Yeah,
That's your whole...
I'm gonna let you know now.
Yeah.
On 80 grand, you're not gonna be able to borrow 950.
You're not gonna be able to borrow 950, right?
So,
Yeah.
and that's where maybe joint or dual or
Yeah.
co-borrowers or
Yeah.
with your spouse. Yeah.
Man.
And the living cost is
It's high.
pretty cray,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, so let me wrap it up.
Yeah.
That part, okay?
Oh, okay.
From what I gathered from what T just said, although there is a 5% scheme that can be used, really you should buffer yourself 10%. The reason why I say that is, let's say $1 million. At 5%, all you got is the deposit, but then you have the stamp duty, then the fees, right? So really, you're gonna need about $100,000 if you wanna buy a $1 million property. by yourself. Okay, so allow 10% is to be, from what I gathered from what you just said, is more of a safe buffer. Because people, they come to me right now and they just think, oh, I got 5%, I can go buy. But they don't know that they need to have stamp duty. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. But
Yeah.
I think that's why, you know, for those that are utilising your services without speaking to
A broker.
a broker or a
Yeah.
bank or whatnot,
Yeah.
I think that's, I'm going to use the term delulu, okay?
Yes.
Or overly confident.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, like, you need to actually get your numbers crunched
Yes.
before speaking or seeing you yourself, someone like you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I do
Even if
recommend.
there's a ballpark figure, right?
Yes, yes.
I think that's quite important, especially, you know, there's so much noise out there. And this
Yes.
is us, look, we've spent like, I don't know, 15 or whatever minutes just
Yeah.
talking about one
Just
scheme.
that one scheme,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because it's
So-
so complicated. Yeah. So yes, T's recommendation, I highly recommend it for
Yeah.
anyone who's thinking of buying. Don't go see the house first. Because when you go see the house and then you come back to do all your paperwork and know your loans, the house is probably sold by the time your paperwork is sorted, because houses are selling so quick lately, right? So step one, know how much deposit you have. Step two is go speak to a bank or broker. Find out exactly how much you can service.
Yes.
Then, from the numbers that T and her team give you, then come see the house from that number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
right,
I think
T?
it's also like quite discouraging as well. For example, you know, like you go and see this home, and as a first home buyer, again, you're buying your home for you to live in.
Yes.
So let's say I go and inspect, and I love this place. It's 1 mil, and I go and see a broker, and then she goes and says, "Hey, T, like,
Yeah.
come on, you know, like
Yeah.
your affordability suggests that you can only lend at this amount. So therefore, your actual price guide should be 700, 800K. Imagine, you know, inspecting a home that I love and then going to actually then seek financial, like, you know, talk to somebody about getting a pre-approval and all that. And then they go and say, oh, they give you a mad reality check.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, damn. So do your concrete, do your homework first, speak to the right people, the right specialists,
Yeah.
and then go and shop away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great suggestion, because that is the proper tip from a professional that you need to know. Okay, T, you spoke about the 5% scheme and the person has to live in it, right? So,
Very important.
so what if they want to rent it out?
Yeah.
Can they do that?
What do you think?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
No.
Okay.
That's why it's very, very important.
Yes.
The purpose. You do need to actually reside in this property and make it your primary place of residence for a minimum of 12 months. Yeah.
So after the 12 months, then you can rent it
Yeah.
out.
On the 366th day,
Okay. Okay.
rent it out.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So guys, when you buy this home on a 5% scheme on a first home buyer grant, make sure once it settles and you get the key, live in it for 12 months from that date.
Yes.
After the 12 months, if you want to rent it out and move to somewhere else or move back to your parents and save some money, you
Yep.
can. But for that first 12 months, it's very important that you stay in the house. But T, let's say, for example, if the person don't follow that guideline and decide to move out 6 months and rent it out.
Yeah.
Is there any penalties or?
Look, I can imagine there will be certain repercussions.
Yeah.
Thank goodness my clients don't behave like this.
Yes.
But yes, of course, I believe that, you know, there would be penalties. Perhaps you might even have to pay stamp duty, you know. So, yeah, do the
Yeah.
right thing.
Yeah.
Do the right thing, people.
Yeah.
You know?
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Understandable.
Yeah, yep.
All right. So, look, I mean, there's so much things that I want to ask,
Yeah.
but I just believe that this one show is just not enough,
No.
right? So we're going to call T back again,
Okay.
just to go through a few more things, because I have a whole sheet, but we really just covered only one point today.
Yeah, we could
All right?
do that. Like,
Yeah.
cover one kind of scheme or grant and
Yeah.
kind of digest it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then dive more into more details.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, the 5% scheme, it works. Make sure you have the stamp duty on top, and make sure your income is enough to service the loan. So first things first, before you come and see me to look at a house, go see someone like T at the Loan Lounge. Find out exactly how much you can borrow, and then she will advise you on what price is your maximum capability in order to buy.
Yeah.
Then you start going shopping.
Great.
Yes.
Can I just add before we end it as well?
Sure.
Is the sweet spot is, of course, to buy something at 800K, because really you only need 40K. No stamp duty.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So if you've got the 40K plus maybe about $5,000 for miscellaneous or associated costs, 45K can get you to buy 800,000 again, so long as you can borrow the 760 left. But yeah, 800K is the sweet spot, and we do see a lot of first home buyers, and you probably experience it too. Just remember, your competitors are also very savvy investors buying something at 800 in Sydney. But yeah, 800K, 45K savings can get you an 800K property. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for tuning in for our Sunday show this week, and we hope to have more great information from T on our next episodes. Thank you very much.